There was a deal made in America, not in public, not on TV, and definitely not with your consent. A deal so silent that most people never realized it happened. But after that deal, wages stopped rising, debts exploded, and the middle class slowly began to disappear. This is the story of how America's middle class was quietly sold to the banks. And once you see it, you'll never look at money the same way again. For decades after World War II, America worked differently. One income could buy a home, a car, education, and a secure future. The middle class wasn't struggling, it was growing. Productivity went up. Wages went up with it. This wasn't luck. It was a system where growth was shared. But then, something changed, and almost no one noticed it happening. In the 1970s, a quiet decision reshaped the economy. Instead of asking, how do we help workers earn more? The system asked, how do we help people borrow more? Wages stopped keeping up with productivity, but living costs kept rising. So banks stepped in with a solution: not higher pay, not stronger labor protections, debt, credit cards, student loans, mortgages. Debt became the replacement for income, and this was the beginning of the deal. Here's the part they don't like to explain. When wages stagnate, people should push back, but debt changes behavior. A worker in debt can't quit easily, can't strike, can't take risks. Debt keeps people obedient. Meanwhile, banks earned interest, Wall Street earned fees, corporations earned record profits. The middle class didn't get richer, the financial system did. The Federal Reserve wasn't created to protect workers. Its priority is stability, especially for banks. Every major crisis follows the same pattern. Banks take risks, banks win, banks fail. And when they fail, they are rescued. But households, they are told to be responsible. Losses are socialized, profits are privatized. That's not a bug in the system, that is the system. Inflation is often called a natural problem, but inflation hits hardest when wages are weak. When prices rise, rent increases, food costs explode, savings lose value. But assets, stocks, real estate, they rise. Who owns assets? The wealthy, the banks, the institutions. Inflation didn't destroy the middle class overnight. It slowly drained it, silently. But the banks weren't alone. Corporations joined the deal. Companies stopped raising wages. Instead, they cut costs, automated jobs, and pushed more debt onto employees. You were encouraged to buy more, to spend more, to borrow more. And when the economy slowed, the middle class absorbed the pain. Meanwhile, the system kept moving wealth upward, quietly, systematically. Even education became part of the deal. College promises success, but students graduate with enormous debt. Instead of being a ladder, education became a trap. Banks profit from student loans, interest compounds, and young people start life behind. Debt replaced opportunity. And the cycle continued. The deal was never canceled. It was normalized. People work more hours, carry more debt, and own less. And they blame themselves. But this was never about laziness. It was about design. A system that doesn't need your success. It needs your participation. Let's take a look at history. The 2008 financial crisis is a perfect example. Banks made reckless bets. People lost homes. Jobs disappeared. Who got bailed out? Banks. Who suffered the most? Ordinary families. And after that, debt was pushed even more through credit cards, car loans, mortgages, and student loans. The pattern repeated every time. The middle class was slowly weakened. Communities suffered. Retirement became uncertain. People postponed buying homes, having families, or starting businesses. Meanwhile, wealth concentration skyrocketed. Billionaires and banks benefited the most, and most Americans barely noticed it happening. Yes, we are still in the deal continues. Policies favor financial institutions over workers. Interest rates, inflation, and debt all keep people trapped. The middle class is still being quietly extracted from. And the system continues to normalize it. The middle class wasn't destroyed by accident. It was traded, silently, legally, systematically. And the most dangerous part? Most people still don't realize it happened. If you want to understand money, power, and how economies really work, you're already asking the right questions. Because history doesn't repeat itself. It rewards those who understand it first. Wake up, pay attention, and never let your future be quietly sold.